Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program is rated for all audiences.
Four guys on sports. Four guys on sports. Four guys on sports starts now.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Where's my... Oh, forgot to click the mic button. That helps. Anyway, what's going on, guys? I didn't talk to you for a week or two.
Just a week, basically.
Just a week, yeah.
Did you all watch the first game of the season?
A little bits of it.
I did not.
It wasn't really much of a game, though.
At San Diego or L.A., they kicked ass. But that just shows... the way I look at that game a lot of times is that if you... something's wrong here. What the heck? If you take and compare the teams from the starting line, you're going to have some that are way ahead, and then you're going to have some that aren't so, and then you're going to have the bottom feeders. And the way I looked at that was Detroit, even though they think they've got a lot, they need a lot of work. And until they get some of that in, and plus the fact it was all second and third string most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. I hate to say it, but that's the way it works.
They don't put too many first stringers in a Hall of Fame game because it's an extra game. So.
Yeah, so they're not going to show you much. I've been listening to a little bit of sports since last week.
Mm-hmm.
And especially where the Browns are concerned, they had that guy that was supposed to be a running back, ended up tearing his Achilles.
Yeah.
And he's done.
Defensive back, yeah.
He won't be back this year.
Martin Emerson.
Yeah, that one. I thought that there was another one that I think he pulled a hamstring.
Mm.
But anyway, you know, it's same old Browns. We're going to start out like hell's on fire. And then once you get there, it's done. There's I better turn that on to us now. There we are. There's a Houlihan and Big Chuck thing. Most of you don't know who that is, but they used to do satire for they ran a B movie, and then they took and had they did these skits in between commercials. And it was I will still watch they got this thing called Couch Potato Theater. It's on every Sunday night at 12:30, and watching that, they poked fun at a lot of players.
Mm.
And, you know, this is where I learned my dislike for a certain football team from one state away, because
Pittsburgh sucks!
Yeah, that's where it was from. But anyway, what I think I was trying to say there was escaped from my mind now. So.
Somebody's going to think you don't know what you're talking about.
No, it just escaped. I
mean, looking at Alzheimer's, huh?
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I could tell you guys a joke, but I'll just refrain. till after the show's over.
Okay.
Anyway, look at there. We got Mr. Nate
Again.
again.
2 weeks in a row. That's
How are we going to handle that?
feel his forehead.
Yeah, really. What's up, Mr. Nate? You hear us?
You there, mate? Yeah, no.
Season gets closer. You know, be long, man. Got preseason. You know, now it's gonna be good.
I was surprised, actually. I don't know how they work on this stuff, but I always thought the Hall of Fame game was supposed to be the first weekend of August, and they done screwed it up and put it in the end of July.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the players complain that their seasons are getting longer, and fans, well, I guess it's the quality of the game too, but I guess it's a form of football. Very, I would say, well, not what we were waiting for, but it's something.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure how much of that's going to change. I haven't really heard anything about Kansas City and some of the other teams that you wonder if they're going to be any good or not. I did see Aaron Rodgers practiced a little bit with Pittsburgh. Do you think he's going to stay there?
Yeah, I think this is the last year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But anyway, they took him. I seen he's been practicing a little bit with them.
Yeah.
On the Brown side at Pickett, or what the heck's that? That quarterback for Cleveland that they took from Pittsburgh. He ended up getting. He's ended up getting.
Really? Really?
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm feeling. I was trying to think.
I saw he got hurt.
Yeah, it's just hamstring. He's back though, I think.
They didn't know if he was going to come back that soon or not. But playing through the pain, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do we got on the agenda for today?
Not much.
Just trying to lip sync Nate.
Yeah. Yeah, more so. Because
I'm going to have to.
Yeah, no comprende.
I may have to help him get that audio situation fixed.
Yeah.
Because I think there's too much AGC. I guess that's what they call it in Zoom. There's too much AGC there. It's cutting him off. Anyway, what's new?
Test 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Test 1, 2.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Is that better?
we heard you.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe that works.
So, what are you and your brother going to argue about today?
Well, I see Dallas is Dallas really contemplating trading Parsons, man, or is that just everybody like to have some stuff. Everybody want to be in the
Wants out of there.
It's the whole negotiating game, and probably now. And don't get me wrong, because there's one thing about Micah. There's a couple things about Micah that, in my opinion, when you look at, he's definitely a heck of a football player. But when they're talking about numbers and we're talking about what Watt got versus Micah, And again, Watt is those guys like the defenders like the Watts and you know what's his name there in Cleveland?
Garrett.
Jared, no,
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett, yeah, Miles Garrett, and you know some of those others they're different because Micah is more of a hybrid type. He's a guy that is really, really good at one of the best, matter of fact, at third and long and being able to pin his ears back when you know it's a pass play. But when you run at, you know, he's not a run stopper by no means. He tends to get blown out a lot of times on run plays. But the bigger thing is Micah has his own podcast and he loves talking. And he's more of a talking head sometimes than he is a football player at times, you know. But I think that they'll sign him, keeping in mind that Jerry Jones is a master at, I want to say, marketing, negotiating, marketing, and all those things. Now, if they trade Micah, if they could trade him, and it would depend on what they get for him, you know, in turn, you know. But he's definitely an impact player, and he would be great in a lineup where you have run stoppers. He'd be even better because he's more of a linebacker, and he can kind of guard. He can drop back a little bit in pass coverage. But, you know, he's not that big, strong man. He's fast. What he is. He's a football player by all means. But anyway, will they trade him? I doubt it unless they can get fair market value for him as far as in return, you know, what type of players they can get in return.
I just think you want to be in the news. This offseason is a little bit different than most, to be quite frank. But usually, you know, Dallas kind of dominates the headlines off season. They haven't been there this year.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I think it's more of that keeping Dallas relevant in the grand scheme of things because Jerry Jones is a master at that. He could have saved himself millions signing Dak earlier, you know, different things that he didn't do. And you sign him, and he had a good argument. Hey, look, we signed Dak. He got all his money, and he didn't play. You know, he's been injured. You know.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
And you know, a lot of the players, yeah, and it happens with a lot of players. And keep in mind that. Okay, they get these big signing bonuses, you know, this front load, because when they don't play, they don't get paid unless you get those guaranteed. And we're seeing less of that guarantees. So these guys, they want those big signing bonuses. Now, on the other hand, CD got paid, and his contract really wasn't that messy, and CD's played.
Well, in the case of Deshaun, that guy has been one big-ass disappointment ever since he came here. It was all talk, oh, he's the greatest football player since Vince Lombardi. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, whatever.
And you know what? He was lighting it up before he got in it, you know, he had the trouble, you know. But he really was. He was lighting it up. This dude was different, you know. I mean, he was just playing the game, man, and throwing the ball and doing all the things. And when the trouble started, he started to unravel, you know, and injuries and the whole nine. And he just hadn't been the same.
Nor do you think anybody, I doubt that he's going to recover from any of that. He'll probably end up just retiring.
He might not have a lot of motivation. Sure, man, he got all that loot, boy. Good.
Again, I hate to say it, but I agree there because from an owner standpoint, man, I don't want to give these jokers all this money up front because they may decide, look, man, ain't no need in me tearing my body apart. I'm already paid. I got generational wealth.
Yeah, but how far does that go? I think there used to be a clause that they had in there. In fact, they fired Bernie Kosar with the same thing. And I don't know why they didn't put it in that contract, and that is diminishing skills. Yeah, you can remember when Belichick did that to Kosar. That was the reason they fired him, was because Belichick thought he had diminishing skills.
And I hear what you're saying. Again, yeah, I think there's still some things there, but these players get such a large signing bonus nowadays. We got guys that are getting $90 or $100 million signing bonuses. Why do I need to play anymore? And I think as you get older, of course, we all know. Again, prior to the show, we were talking about how, Nate was talking about his hand and me talking about my elbow and, just sleeping, how we sleep, we heard. So those guys, their bodies, they put their bodies through some things. They really do. But at the same time, because now, and athletes are getting stronger, bigger, faster all the time. And it's insane how fast these big guys run, you've got offensive linemen running 4.7s and maybe a little below. These are offensive linemen, you have these guys are just freakish athletes. So some of those collisions are pretty big collisions, So, and it's only so much of that the body can take. You see it all the time. These athletes, the body really wasn't meant for us to run as fast as we do now or jump as high as we do. But all that's going to take its toll over time, Throw the ball as hard as we do, shoulders, elbows, all that stuff it's going to hurt you. So in that, but at the same time, so if they can get that money and stop the grind on their body, I'm not going to question anybody's heart, but not for me to question.
Well, I lost my whole train of thought again. God, I hate when that happens. As far as diminishing skills in that go, he's not the only one. I'm sure they've ever done that too. But who can actually say you've got diminishing skills, or you're not playing into my game? And that's what it's. I guess it's fine that they do it that way, but is that really? Beneficial to the player or the league or what? I just thought of what I was going to say here. As far as the changes that they've made in the last couple of years, as far as the rules of football, do you think, especially that punt crap at they don't want the players running before the ball's snapped and all that crap. I myself, I don't know if they would have. I don't really agree with that. I think that's chickening out. And if so, how are we going to get it changed? But I can understand the health of the players is a concern but hell, that's what you get $5 million for. It's what you get $1 million a game for. To me, that's just, if you're going to play then you got to pay, you know. And if paying is getting overly, struck, your legs taken out from under you, whatever, it's going to happen, you know. I will admit you've seen some pretty ridiculous situations with the injuries. Thinking back to that one game that had, I think wasn't it New York? That kid that got the feet, or he ended up damn near dying on the field. How do you come?
Hamilton.
What's that?
Hamilton was his name. Hamilton.
Yeah, he kind of the one took the hard hit there.
Yeah.
I think that changed the whole rule of football from that point on. Some of it just seems like it's, why? I mean, is it going to hurt you to move 5 feet instead of 25 or 30 feet to knock somebody down during a run back? I don't know. It's not, that's above my pay grade, I guess.
Yeah.
They need to consult LeBron James, man. I mean, I sent y'all that little video, man. Look at the way that old dude moving, man. My goodness, man. I'm like, dang. My God.
Huh. Yeah,
I consult him, man.
You know, and you say that, and I was, of course, I look at a lot of different stuff on him, as well, because it's amazing what he still does. But looking at him, and he's not near what he used to be. That's
what's crazy.
He's still, man. As an athlete, he's still a good one, very good one. His stuff is solid, but it's just, let's say, it's still, it catches up with all of us. But at the same time, in football, even more of a grind, because the game is so physical. Yeah.
What do you think? How many more years you think he's got?
Man, at the rate he's going, and I saw I was looking at a little bit of a podcast with a couple former NBA players, Boston Celtics, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, who for the longest time they didn't like. Well, they don't like, but I think they have a respect for him now. I heard Paul Pierce say what he's doing at his age and how long he's been in the game, and he was saying people have no idea. He said, he's my GOAT just because of his longevity. And, for the longest time, he didn't do load management. And if anybody deserves load management, it's him, taking games off. He said, but this man is he's like, y'all, I'm still looking at him.
Differently.
Yeah, I'm still looking at him. And, I have to respect him because he's earned it. And these are guys that they weren't LeBron James fans, but they said he's earned it because of we know what the game is like. We know what kind of physical grind that we put on him. And when he was younger, and it was, they didn't want to say it was freakish, but it's just he was different, But watching guys play that long, in any of these sports, we watched Brady play as long as he did. Now, granted, he's a quarterback and he didn't get the type of licks most of the time that, a lot of other players, get. But, and then his style of play was pretty smart in the style of play that they played to keep him from getting hurt as well. But, when they talk, to hear these other athletes talk about, being able to play for long periods of time is amazing. And that right there, and to play at that level, You know, like I saw that video you sent me. I watched that this morning, Nate, prior to the show, and I was looking at this man. It's like he's, you know, granted it was summer swings, but still, it's still freakish what he does. You know,
it's ridiculous. Because think about yourself going out there trying to move with that level of force at that age. Man, please.
Now I'll say this. It's changed in the last 5 years for me drastically. But at 40 years old, man, I could still, I was so, let's say, my health, I've been blessed with really good health, for a long period of time because I didn't have the knee problems, now shoulders. I love baseball and all that, and, love throwing the ball, all those things. And I was out there with my grandson, who's 12, about to be 12. Anyway, and he's trying to work on pitching a little bit. And so, I wanted to get out there and just, catch balls, but then squatting down for a long period of time, my hips and joints like that hurt. So put a net up for him to throw into and, watch him throw and everything. So I get up and I start to throw a ball back to my rear back, and I could feel the clicking of the ball or something in my shoulders, like, don't do that. Because and I can tell you, a torn ligament in your shoulder is, mine's whenever I discovered it, and I couldn't work, and my work was at a keyboard. I could not move the mouse, But with that, so yeah, to see that, and then my thought was, my mind. So you're right, Nate. I wanted to just rear back and just cut the ball loose and throw it to him hard, Because the other thing is sometimes he doesn't, I want him to get used to, squeeze that ball, catch it, But so I have to get my son out there sometime here. If you can come over and throw balls to him, work on him with his pitching and all that, because I can't do it. Mm-hmm. I bet if I tried to throw a ball 60 miles an hour, my shoulder would probably hurt me for, I don't know how long. Probably weeks, and it's crazy, So in that, I had to toss the ball underhands, like, okay, I'm gonna have to warm up, but my mindset was just rear back and cut it loose, just choke it, But I can't do that. And that's crazy.
Oh. And it's weird too, because I think about, like to your point, like what you said, man, I was still, getting it in, talking about jogging and stuff, hitting the gym, lifting weights and all that stuff. I was still doing all that stuff, man. And really was doing all that stuff a lot up until really like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, is this. But in terms of going full speed, no, not even close. You could push the weights, you could jog and stuff like that. But to push the body from a muscular related task or response that's needed to one that's primarily like that would exert and test your agility, it's different. Like, for example, if you go and you try to jump up and hang on the basketball rim or something like that, man, it's almost, you can feel like your limbs are separating, man, from your body, man. Man, that stuff is, I'm like, God, because I can remember a couple years ago sometime, man, like I'm play some basketball, I'm gonna jump high, man, and, lay the ball in or dunk the ball, something like, man, like, good Lord, man, it's like you jumping up and the body is dislodging itself from the joints, man. I'm like, good grief. So when I looked at that video And granted, like you say, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still a few NBA players out there, but it wasn't like it was all NBA players on both sides. The point is, though, is that you're looking at the way this dude is going, the fastest guy on the floor, dunking over people. Right? I mean, it was crazy, man. I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's like, dude, bottle that up, market it, man, and sell that. You know, These folk need to. These teams need to really allow him to consult with them and help them, because, and I don't know, like you said, Gord, we'll ever see it, y'all, where in the NFL, you know, Tom Brady, you know, is the benchmark with that extremely long career, you know, and I say extremely long, but not just long, but extremely long and successful career.
Yes.
And then, you know, you look and you say, will we ever see, you know, an athlete that takes more of the abuse be able to be dominant for an extended period of time? You know, it may not go to, you know, over 40, but will we see somebody who really contributes, you know, not like a minor, you know, play here and there, but like a major contributor, you know, in the NFL, somebody who invests in doing the right thing, you know, most of the days of the week, meaning they're eating the right thing, refraining from, you know, the wrong things, you know, disciplining themselves, man, to push themselves to get better. Will we ever see that in the NFL? You know, and I don't know the answer to that, but it would be remarkable.
You know, and to say this, at certain levels, let's say, okay, one of the positions where you take a lot of abuse, your body does, you know, punishment, you know, is the running back position, which it's, you know, when you start comparing them to a quarterback, it's not even close.
Yeah.
But, you know, to see a running back have a successful career for 8 to 10 years, man, that's phenomenal. Because those guys, I mean, a lot of your blows are, you know.
That's what they say. The life expectancy of a running back is 8 years, I think.
Yeah.
On average.
Yeah. And usually about the fourth or fifth year, your production starts to decline. Now, when you look at Saquon and he had so many injuries early on, you know, and now the way they are, it's, you know, he's looking freakish, you know. Of course, now Derrick Henry, what a specimen, a little bit different, you know. And I think I heard him say somewhere where he doesn't want his kids to do this because of, and people, I've seen some of his workouts are insane. But again, as a specimen, you know, of a running back, he's freakish. You know, he's so much above the norm, you know, because of his style, his speed, along with his power. But, you know, when then you look at those guys like Obese Mode, Marshawn Lynch, who was good. Oh, my goodness. And so to see them, if you see a running back get about 10, 12 years and still be successful, let's say highly successful about year 8, that's something phenomenal. You know.
Zeke, he had about 4 years good?
Zeke had, his 4th year, he started to decline. You know, he missed games because of other things, you know, legalities and everything. But again, with James, is you talking about a guy who has, on and off the field, done the right things, pretty much. As far as we know, he's done mostly the right things and taking care of his body, watching what he eats, exercise, and he took it really serious. So in that also, you get what you put it, you get out of it what you put into it as well. You have to, you got to be that one that says, you know what, I'm going to take care of my. Kobe took care of his body pretty well, not to the extent that James has. But then again, genetically, Kobe wasn't as, I hate to use the term gifted, but yeah, I don't know what else to say, as James was, just to be big, strong, and fast like that. But, and, he took care of his body more so than Jordan. Jordan was, they make it sound now where Jordan was almost an alcoholic when he was playing. I don't know, but there's stories about him getting drunk, coming in there a little bit, had too much to drink, and come out there and giving it to him. Now, and when you look at guys like the Allen Iversons, that was, he was clearly, just. Now, he was freakish in what he could do because of his size and the ability. You're talking about fast. Probably one of the faster players we've ever seen, but he's just so little. But at the same time, he was a guy that at one point he was behind Shaq in numbers and paint scored in the paint. So, what do you say? But again, when I think of football players, man, I just have to, I don't know, I look at it, man, I say that knowing what I know now, and if I was one of those athletes and seeing what has been accomplished in basketball and football as well, man, I think I would like to believe that I would approach the game differently and say, okay, I'm going to do everything I can. When it comes, it's in the off season, I'm still eating right, Do these guys, you don't want to sit up there and drink too many beers or eat too many hamburgers or hot dogs or those things, moderation, very much so. But there again, it could be just, I hate to use the term luck of the draw, but I've heard some insane stories about Kawhi Leonard's workout, but for some reason that man cannot stay healthy. Now, maybe does he overdo it? I don't know.
I think a lot of it has to do too. You figure that's been LeBron's life. Kawhi started that later in life. So I mean, this dude he's been taking care of himself forever. So it's a little different, I think. Because even like the latest, you saw the pictures of the new Luka Doncic, right? Looking good, man. Working out, man. Looking good. Got all in shape.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna see what it look like when the season's starting. See if he can play some defense. Not even drop that doggone pot belly, that beer belly. And see if he's gonna play some defense now.
Yeah, they said that part of that was because they said Rick Carlisle is one of those coaches that he believes in you taking care of your body. And they said that was one of his things with Luka. I don't know, but, and at the same time, we know that, as he's been compared to, is he just another James Harden, a dude that puts up numbers? Can he really win? I think he's built a little different than James Harden, because James Harden isn't one of those dudes. He definitely doesn't take care of it. In comparison, he doesn't appear to really take care of his body. James Harden is more of a Babe Ruth type. Babe Ruth was a, hey man, I'll play ball and drink all night. James Harden, he hanging out with the rappers and partying with them, which. Again, lifestyle choices and all those things have to play into that. Your ability to last long, and also in that, even now. And I had a conversation with a person the other day, and they said, "Well, you could go out there and they were talking about someone in their family, and was, some of their unhealthy choices, drinking, smoking, and all these things. And they said, but, and you do this, that, and the other. I said, but you can go out there and get hit by a car. I could. But while I'm here, it's the quality also. It's not so much about the quantity of life, and I hope I live long, and everything, but also it's the quality of the life that I want while I'm here. Again, because we were talking when I was younger. Man, when I was 40, man, I could go in there and hit that bench, man. I slap 6 plates on there and throw it up, I did, it's been several months ago. I had 4 plates, man, and I could push it up, but it was tough. Now I've got to a point because of the things with, I've been going through here and there, I don't want to put too much on there. I don't want to put 4 plates on there. Matter of fact, I've changed up my routine and I'm doing a lot less weight, but the reps that I do and my rest between reps is so much shorter. A lot of times I'm only doing 30 seconds between reps, perhaps 30 to 60 seconds between reps, because I'm trying to get in there and get out, whereas I go in the gym now, and this is what I see, guys. I see people in certain equipment, I want to get to, and this is what they do. They do a set, and then they do this.
I know, man. That's...
And you're sitting there, and my mindset is, what I want to say is, get your ass out the way. But, so on occasion, I have even gone and say, hey, man, how many you got left? Oh, I got a few more. Can I work in with you? Or are you going, they move a little bit faster. But I don't think they realize, I see them do a stack of weight and not very good form and everything. But that's the other portion for me is I concentrate on my form and I do a lot less weight now. And part of the reason behind that is there's a gentleman that goes to the gym where I was going, and he's 75, 76. And for an old man, he's yoked. His brother is, he's not as big as and people that know him say, oh, no, he ain't what he used to be. And we were talking about weights and how much he used to lift. Of course, same thing for him, joints and everything. But he's lifting. He get through with a set, on bench, and he turn right around and hit push-ups, then get right back underneath. I was like, this dude here doesn't stop. But looks good. Looks good. But in that, I did all that. I've changed how I do it, and I've noticed results, man. It's crazy, man. The thing they talk about hypertrophy as far as lifting, it's insane, So I want to be that dude when I get my 70s, man, that people still looking at me like,
come on, Louis.
how would you say that?
All right, let's go.
Who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Browns, man? First preseason game. Who's starting?
Flacco. No, I don't know.
First preseason game?
Probably Flacco.
Probably.
He won't play much, but
we get to see some of.
Probably get to see Shadur and Gabriel.
I think
I think more Gabriel though, probably, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think we'll get to see some of them. And I say this, going back to that, is I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to find themselves explaining why they passed on. It's only a matter of time. This dude is going to shine. He's going to shine. He will shine. At some point, he's going to get that opportunity, and this is going to knowing his dad, this is going to play in their favor, you know. And I think
I don't believe he's going to stay. I don't believe that he's going to leave.
I'm sorry, you faded.
No.
I don't believe that he's going to wind up in Cleveland for a spent time. I think that, you know, his rookie years, you know, this rookie stuff, he's going to be in Cleveland, and I don't think they're going to be able to hang on to.
Possibly, but you know what? And this is what I think is going to happen. I think that if Cleveland sees enough, they're going to do everything they can to keep him there. And you talk about a team that, man, they really, really need a quarterback.
They
And
need everything.
if he, you know, we'll see what this other kid does as well, because he's got competition. But I think that, and like you say, wherever he winds up, you know, somebody is going to wind up looking like a genius, you know. And these other teams are going to look really, really stupid because, you know, the thought process was he was going to go probably late second to mid third round. He didn't get picked up to what, the fifth?
Yeah, man, keep in mind, initially, man, everything was going to be in the top 10 people off the board, man, period.
Well,
First round.
I didn't see it. And the reason being is the conference in which he played in, first off. And, you know, I felt like he had a very good career. You know, he showed some things. Now, one of the things they said was, well, look at who he's got, you know. Look at who he's got out there to throw the ball to and blah, blah, this, that, and the other. And I get it when you talk about being under duress and everything and as a quarterback in the pocket and all those things. You know, he showed, to me, it just showed that he's a kid that can make plays. But being able to sit back there and pick apart a defense, that's what, you know, once he shows them that, that'll be crazy. And if he gets that opportunity where he can, you know, he's getting enough time to pick apart a defense, and I think he's going to, I think he'll figure it out. And I think that my honest opinion is, be it Cleveland or someplace else, he's going to get an opportunity to shine. And I hope it's in Cleveland.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't think it'll be there just based on the history of Cleveland.
Well, but at the same time, I mean, you don't bring this kid into, what can I say? You know, you don't, you know, because him coming in, and is he going to be a good? I think he's going to be a good quarterback. Will he be one of the greats? I don't know. But, I mean, there's some teams that if you took him, brought him in, you couldn't sit down a Josh Allen for him. That would be plumb stupid. You couldn't sit down a Lamar. That would be stupid. Patrick Mahomes. That would be stupid at this point. Right now, because I mean, we don't know for sure, but a healthy Dak Prescott, I would take over Shadir.
I'm not sure I would.
And I know you would think differently, but there are several quarterbacks that right now that, because first off, and I say this, okay, we've seen one thing at the college level. First and foremost, I hadn't seen it at the NFL level.
But just think about the statement you just made, though. A year ago, you would have said that about the quarterback that went to Washington. A healthy Dak Prescott, I would take over him. But you wouldn't say that now.
No, I would not. And I think a healthy Dak Prescott is a pretty good quarterback.
I agree. But you just think about that.
The thing of it is, Nate, is this. when this young man can show me again, and the reason I said is I hadn't seen enough. When he can show me that he can throw someone open. There's those quarterbacks that, there's probably not an NFL quarterback out there, starting an NFL quarterback, that you give him someone open, they can't put the ball out there to him, most of the time. Most of the time, most of these quarterbacks. Now, but being able to throw a player open is different. Being able to place that ball, that was one of the things that Aaron Rodgers did to me, one of the greats. He put that ball in places where my guy's going to catch it or nobody's catching it. That type of thing. I have yet, when we see that with Shadir, then it may be a different story, But I think that he's going to get there because I think he has I think that he's coming the right way. One of the best things that could have happened to him was being picked over. And I think that's part of his motivation. I think he's man enough to take that and not whine about it, but say, I'm going to go ahead and show these cats something. He's going to use that as motivation. So Nate, will he be a great quarterback? He may even be a great quarterback. I don't know. But I think just in a little time, he's going to be a very good quarterback.
Pretty fair.
You're chopping up again, Nate.
Chopping up there, Nate. I can't hear you.
Guys that
You're going back and forth.
Huh?
You're going back and forth on the volume.
For some reason, you kind of
going in and out.
I wonder if he's got.
And here's the. Well, I was just saying, whether or not he'll be a great quarterback, I think. Whether or not he stays with Cleveland, if he gets to another franchise, maybe things change for him. So I just don't know. I don't know, man. Cleveland, as much as I wanting to be at Cleveland, I want Cleveland to succeed and be really good. It's just that, man, it's been so frustrating in that Cleveland. Man, that Cleveland environment has just been rough. It's.
I hear what
He
you're
left
saying.
there and suddenly becomes a stud. I'm like, give me a break.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And yes, it would be crazy if he shines and then they get rid of him. Now, if they get rid of him and he doesn't shine while he's there or he hadn't had the opportunity, that's one thing. But if he gets the opportunity there, I think they're going to do what they can because, first off, these cats aren't going to be sold on, okay, what are we going to give up to get him? And I think that if he shines, Cleveland's going to take the attitude to, no, you're going to have to give me something if you want. And keep in mind now, and I'm going to say this, the running and scrambling, all that, he's scrambling, yeah, but him running and all that, he's not going to be able to do that in the NFL.
Well, I don't think he's going to do a lot of that. That guy, man, he can toss that ball from the pocket, man. He's a very good quarterback. So I'm excited to see these play. I'm very excited to see.
Hey, I want to see him play, man. I want to see him play. And the other part about that, Nate, is if this kid starts to shine, because he has some personality. His dad, Prime had personality. Okay, this dude is going to put butts in seats. He sells tickets. He's going to sell tickets. He's going to sell tickets. So we'll see.
Here's the next thing. If Deshaun comes back healthy, presumably he comes back sooner than they think. Are they going to sit him down and throw Deshaun in there? Whoever they have in there, whether it's whether it's the Gabriel, whether it's him. Or are they going to, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is at this point, I think it's going to be about production. If they all get a fair shake, it's going to be about production. Whoever produces the most, that's who's going to play the most. The object of the game is to win games.
Yeah, but man, you paying this guy all that money, man. I just wonder if they'll sit him down. Say.
I can't hardly hear you fading in and out, but and it's sad that we're fading in and out because I mean you already sold on him, and I liked him in college. I liked him a lot, but I felt like there were other quarterbacks out there, rightfully so. I didn't think he should go in the top 10, and I didn't see it. There were other players, and your needs as a team also. You don't go in there and say, okay, well, this is, we're going to get a quarterback knowing that you have a good quarterback. You don't go in there and say, okay, we're going to get a quarterback. We've got a good young quarterback, but we're going to take a pick on the, first round of this kid here and say if you KC, okay. If you KC, would you drafted him? Thank you. Okay. What about if you Buffalo?
No. So.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because you had me worried. I thought you was gonna latch on to him like you did a Beckham, but
like Joe Burrow.
Burrow. Yeah. You got cats that can. I
don't think Joe Burrow showed me anything more in college than Sanders did, than Shador did. I'll be honest. Now, I'm not implying that Sanders will be as successful in the NFL as Joe Burrow has been. But what I'm saying, in college, Burrow, for me, didn't show me anything any more, really, than Sanders had. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. You forgot.
I am not, and no, again, I'm going to restate. I am not implying that Shador will be as good as
They played in the SEC.
Burrow.
Come on now.
Huh?
They played in the SEC. What's the name of the conference that
I don't care, man. But they played some talent. They didn't just play a bunch of bums, man. You act like they ain't played nobody. They played some good teams, man. And you got to look too, man. I mean, you got to look what he had to play with. Yeah, he had a couple nice offensive pieces, a couple. And he had a team, man, dudes on the line, man, my size and your size. I'm like, man, that's just not getting it done. So I'm like, I look at all that. So I really want to see him get a fair shake. But let's be honest, at the same time, the other quarterback ain't no slouch. The other quarterback they drafted, he's pretty decent. He wasn't no bum.
You know what? And I'll say this, and don't get me wrong, because Burrow had weapons in college that was insane.
I'll say
he had great receivers there, and but also you forgot again the level. Nate, you got to remember this. If you playing at one of those Power 5 schools, or you playing the SEC, and you going up against teams like Bama and some of those other teams, who have blue chip recruits, in all 11 positions on offense or all 11 positions on defense, you got, it's different. So Burrow, and because I think Burrow is, and you're right, Burrow is a heck of a player, but I think he accomplished more for a couple of reasons. And you forgot what they did accomplish too. Now he could not, again, partially because of his team, but also that conference they're playing in, Nate, is nowhere near SEC.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind,
he didn't even put that conference up there with Big Ten. Nowhere close.
But listen to this. You got to keep in mind, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. But the thing is, the point I'm making is this. It wasn't like he had comparable talent on his team, even within his conference.
I disagree.
His team was small, Gordon.
I disagree with you.
Keep in mind, they weren't even picked to finish in the top 6 or 7 in top 6 in his conference. They weren't that that team, man. They were undersized even in.
And you know why they weren't? Listen to this though. First off, he took a team that was at the bottom of the conference. He went to a team that was at the bottom of their conference. Okay, now and they came up, and in their conference, they were a good team in their conference. Did they finish number one in their conference?
Oh, they finished real close, though. They could arguably should have been in the playoffs, in the college football playoffs.
Boy, man, I could only imagine if they would have had to play a Ohio State or University of Texas or
and they might have beaten
Georgia or Bama. They would have beat the brakes off of them.
Ain't a guarantee.
They would have beat the brakes off of them. But in that, man, Pat, man, I'm going to have to go because I have things to do. But, man, look at here. This show fixing to get good, man. I'm getting ready to hit my brother. I'm going to have to hit him with some facts, but I'm going to have to leave on that because we're talking about a team that didn't even finish top of that. What's the name of the conference they played in, man?
Gore, keep in mind, though, they finished in the top three in that conference, though. Top 2, 3 in that conference. So they finished well, But the point I'm making is that even in their conference, they were undersized.
He tried to tell me. No, they were in that conference.
They were undersized even in their conference. You
make it sound like them dudes was my size playing on the line, man.
It wasn't a lot different. Come
on, man. Maybe with you, because you big Nate.
Sean, I'd have walked
about a biscuit shy of about 275.
Sean, they'd have been like, dang, man, he's a big guy.
I'm not a big guy. People see me, they're going to tell you I'm not a big guy.
Man, Gordy, they were undersized in their conference, though. So it wasn't. That's the point I'm making. It wasn't like they were on the both sides. Both sides of the ball. They had comparable size and talent. No, he had a couple offensive studs. And then of course the two-way player. So they had a defensive stud, but they were undersized, man.
What I'll say is this: he had big linemen, and what he had was guys that were good, but they weren't. They weren't the top at University of Colorado. They weren't the top recruits. Now, Travis Hunter was the best football player in the country. I don't care what no one says. Yes. Now, and I think Shadur is a great football player. Guys, I'm gonna have to get out of here, man, because I gotta get back to that. Get ready.
Yeah, we got to wrap it together.
Yeah, I was just going to say that too. It's coming on 12:30.
It's a shame, Pat. This just get ready to get good. I'm figuring to wear him out. I wind up in these arguments. I wind up beating Nate every week.
We're going to pick up next week what we left off this week. And Sean, you look it up, Sean, and you look at the size of their line last year.
Luka extended.
Oh, this is contract. Yeah,
3 years, $165 million max deal.
Who got that?
He didn't get that super max though.
Who got that deal?
Luka.
Oh yeah.
He didn't get that super max, which that's what he had in Dallas. And you're gonna see these teams, they're backing off these super max.
All right, then we can.
A lot of money.
We can pretty much call this a wrap, I guess.
It's a shame because it was getting good. I was thinking to beat him again, Pat. I'm gonna beat him down.
Well, you'll have a chance next week. And next week, I think we'll probably start the picks for next week.
Here we go.
Because football starts. I know the Browns' first game is next Friday night. So that'll give us a chance to get everything motivated. So anyway, we will see everybody next week. Coming up tomorrow evening is the radioactive show. That should be a good one. And the day after that is, if you're a ham radio operator or even interested in it, Dale Piles and I are starting a are restarting a thing that we used to have called Elmer's World. And we're going to take and explore the world of amateur radio. I think that's it. Then we'll be back here next Saturday, same time, same bat channel. With that, I will see everybody later. Anybody got anything else you want to squeak in here before we go? Okay, that gives me an answer. See you guys later. 7-3. This has been a Crooked River Media production.